Alright, welcome back everyone to another Grand Cross video, and today we're going to be taking on the new Season 2 reverse stages, and this one is a lot easier, mainly because there's less stages, so it's like, what, half, like 1/3 of what Season 1 was, and also, if you've complete Season 1, Season 2 is a lot easier since most of the characters you did upgrade for Season 1 are also in Season 2, so you're kind of chilling on the half. There are some new characters like Deldry, so if you haven't upgraded Deldry, you might want to start doing that now, because she is quite an she's like an MVP at one stage, the one part where she is used that, so it's kind of cool. But also, the characters they do make you use don't actually have other cards or other characters in the game. Basically, the only two people that you can change when you're playing is Gila and I think Jericho are the only two. Other than that, you're using characters that only have literally one card or one character in the game. So like Death Pierce, Arden, Deldry, for example, Harmers. They literally only have one character, so you only have to level up one of them. Rather than in before, there was a couple of stages where you have to use like 2 Dreyfuses, 2 Hendricksons, 2 Jerichos, 2 Gilas. This time it's literally only upgrade one character and you're kind of chilling on that half. I'm going to go through all of it, show you what team I used. Well, I guess you can't really show you because it's the same team anyway. And also kind of go through what the stage boss difficulty is and how to defeat it, because some of them are a little bit tricky. Bear in mind, you can obviously just max everyone out, get them all to level 80, and you're probably just going to breeze through it. I did keep myself at kind of like the minimum, so see, you can kind of see what my minimum was and kind of go against that. Also, some disclaimers before we do start. I do have a title effect on, so where I get 2% extra 2% extra damage or attack when I use attack food. So I know I don't have 10, I have 12. So just bear in mind when I do use attack food, I may get a little bit more CC. And also my box CC is over 2 million, which means I do get 5% HP, I think it is. So just bear in mind, if you have the same team with me, if you do have the same associations, all that stuff, you may have a little bit more less CC than me, because I do have the, obviously, bonus effect. And also, too, make sure if you are using associations, you do bring the 10%, so 6 characters, because they give you the most HP related stats, all the other stuff, because you kind of come close in CC every now and again, especially in some of the stages, so you gotta make sure you have all the best attack and best defense and all that stuff. So ideally, I guess just have 3 good characters with good costumes, good all that stuff, so you can actually bring them in and give the most CC. And to finally wrap it up before we do start, if you are new, just definitely do subscribe. We're doing Grand Cross content every single day. Also on the timeline, you should see the video broken up into sections, so whatever part you want to get to, you can just jump cut to that. Bear in mind, they are quite short. I did also show the gameplay, but I did speed it up, mainly because to show you that I did do it, of course, and also you can sort of make out what's happening. It's just there's no point making the video 2 hours long. Well, that'll be that long, but you know, let's not make it too long here. And you can pretty much see what happens, so let's just jump in. Okay, so starting off in the Roars of Dawn, we have a honestly, this one seems pretty good. So just go straight into it. It kind of cool, I guess. You can kind of see the new character, Wardo, or whatever his name is. So he will be coming to the game soon, or sooner or later. He will be a PvE exclusive, a PvP exclusive character, which is kind of a shame. The main thing to look out for is Deldry does do an AoE attack, so she will remove her cards. It's not really too important. The most important one is probably Arden. He does do damage reduction for ultimates, so if you chant ult him, you might not kill him if you don't have 6 characters, depending on type advantage. And then also the guy at the bottom, Diago, whatever his name is, he obviously does survive when you do kill him for the first time, so make sure if you are going to ult him, you do kill him first, otherwise it won't kill him. Okay, so bear in mind when you are using Jillian, the more turns that go on, the more damage you pretty much will do, because you do have the pierce rate increasing from the Reinhardt, and then also her pierce cards do actually do quite a lot of damage, pretty much almost one bang depending on the levels. You can also attack Sable, which is kind of important, especially if Deldry is attacking. You might want to keep a certain card, and then other than that, just pretty much rush them all down. Probably kill the little guy first, since he does do more damage the more females are alive, and then other than that, it's kind of straightforward. Pretty much make sure when you do ult, you kind of ult before you kill someone here, because Arlen does come in and remove ultimate gauges by 2, so make sure you kind of ult before he does come in. And you can see here, when we do use the card, Jillian is actually kind of insane. You'll see here, hang on, wait for it. Boom, the pierce damage is quite a lot, so make sure when you do it, after a couple turns, you can do even more damage. It's quite easy. Sack Sable, nothing really too much to say about this one. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, next one is Slater, Hugo, and Simon. Slater should be leveled up on your account. He was quite an important character to use during the start of the game. But other than that, it's kind of easy. Jillian is a part of this quest who does freeze, so you kind of got to be kind of careful about her. Probably take her out first. But there is a couple of things to notice. If you do take her out first, then Dreyfus does more damage. When he's alive, well, I guess if he's the last one standing, he does do 50% more damage. You can see here the attack increase. But you can attack table him with Slater and pretty much lower his attack anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Skill disable, it doesn't work onto Jillian, which means she's always going to freeze. You can't use Slater's card. So pretty much just kill her first, and you're kind of good. And Slater OP pretty much. Okay, so speeding through this one, you can obviously attack stable the Dreyfus. I kind of went for him at the start. You can kind of just chip him down, to be fair, and then pretty much just ult the Vivian when you can. I kind of got some bad RNG in this one, not gonna lie, with Hugo. He's kind of a trash character to use, but he does have obviously the Rupture and weak point cards. So if you are disabling, or I guess just debuffing with the Slater, you can obviously just use Hugo and kind of kill him. I did try and take out the thing first, but it just Jillian just kind of annoying and freezing everyone, especially at the right time. But yes, Simon as well does some good damage. Kills the Dreyfus in one go, and then the pretty much ult in afterwards. You can just kill him pretty quick, and it's kind of easy. Okay, next, so where we had Hugo at level 60 last match, last game, we now had to get him to 75 because this one, they will target him the most. You could level up the more character, or I guess the other reds, to do more damage. And depending on what crits you do get, you might get quite lucky. For me, I'm going to have to bring CC food. Now, it's quite important to go back over this one because there's a couple of things to notice. Firstly, every time you remove a debuff, he will heal. Your ultimates are also disabled, so you kind of got to rely on your actual card damage. And it's quite important because the other little guys on right and left do remove debuffs each turn, so you can't be debuffing them either. And then also, for some reason, the red one you can see here is kind of super weak. Like, he just literally gets one turns. That was kind of good RNG to hit some crits, but depending on what levels you are up. The middle guy does freeze, so you are going to see kind of good RNG here. They will target obviously the Hugo the most. He's the green character. They just keep targeting no matter what. I got quite lucky, and you're going to see that in a minute. For some reason, the middle guy, the main character, the boss, does freeze. But he actually did a tier 3, tier 3 freeze onto my Hugo, which means when he did ult, he didn't attack him because obviously he was still frozen for 2 turns. So the AI started switching characters, and you can see right now, he's going to ult. He should have ulted Hugo and killed, but he didn't for some reason. I did get quite unlucky anyway, just with the Slater cards. You kind of want to get more Slater cards to kill, but you can see that he did target Simon, which is quite lucky because if he targeted Hugo, I would have actually just lost. And took a few runs, but it was pretty easy. You might want to get Slater to level 80 for this one though. It's still easy, but if you want to just clear it in one go, Slater level 80 is kind of good. Okay, so next we are moving on to the Weird Fang missions, where there's only 2 of them, so it's actually kind of easy. There's only 4 Weird Fangs, so you can upgrade all of them. It's probably the best advice here. Bringing your best stuff. 98k CC, so it's quite expensive because then you have 4 characters to bring here, but it's pretty easy if you get some characters to level 70, 65 minimum at least, and bring some CC food. Now this one is quite annoying, not gonna lie. The heroes do, well, I guess Hendrickson does revive and remove debuffs, so bear in mind all these characters just basically just do debuffs, and I think Dreyfus does more damage. He does, I think, 30% more damage if he's got a debuff on him, but then you can just lower his attack anyway, so he does nothing. He does extort as well, I believe, I think, the Hendrickson, but pretty much just use all your debuffs. Like, it doesn't really matter. You can obviously do damage increase taken from the Frazier, I think that's how you say her name. This one is a little bit more annoying since the Hendrickson, since the Dreyfus can regen, so he does go on for a while, just keep on healing up, and some of the ults, unless you get Ruin, who I'd never got in my run, didn't get his ult for a while, but yeah, it pretty much kill him quick. because I think the problem for this one would probably be in the 8 turns, clearing the 8 turns. I think I literally did clear on my 8th turn. So other than just this, other like it being difficult, just trying to clear in 8 turns is probably the biggest challenge. Okay, so the last stage in the Weird Fang Clan team one on the run, it's pretty straightforward. The main middle guy, the ultimate, I guess the main character, he does less damage, or you do less damage to him with ultimates, and also if he just survives an ultimate, he does heal. So ideally, you kind of don't want to ult until he's like 1 HP, but pretty much just wear him down. This one is kind of straightforward as well. The characters they make you use, you can just pretty much debuff them all to death. It's kind of straightforward. Poison, you do bring the Weird Fang, the right guy, I can't remember his name, Gladius maybe. He pretty much does a weak point, so you can do AoE weak point pretty good. And bear in mind, and the middle guy does remove debuffs, so every turn, but you can just keep on debuffing, keep doing damage increase, the AoE weak point, it's kind of easy. And then, oh, yeah, just keep pretty much, 6-6. 6 all the characters, you're kind of good. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure when you do you kind of get at least for me, get the Frazier tier 3 buff or debuff to where you take 50% more damage. Pretty much stops them from healing back pretty much. Okay, so next stage, this one is by far maybe the easiest one, mainly because every time you see Jericho, you know it's going to be super easy. This is the only option I think you can switch between people, where you can bring, obviously, the other Gilas and then the new blue Jericho, if you wanted to. But green Jericho is just OP. You should already have it built up if you've been playing for a while, even for raid bosses. But the weird thing is, they try and sort of like make it a little bit more difficult by increasing the crit defense and crit resistance for some of the characters like King, but still you can just debuff them. They do remove debuff. I think Bar removes debuffs, but you can still apply the debuff for the first turn and get the 3 times weak point weak point card off on Jericho. Pretty much, yeah, just there's not really too much to say about this one. Get Jericho. You can also decrease their defense as well with Hammers. Just get the CC high enough to where you can just pretty much one-shot them all. It's honestly, this one's super easy. The blue as well, blue and green, if they were red, to be maybe a little bit more difficult. But overall, it's just, yeah, just nuke with Jericho. You can also ignite with the Agilo if you bring the blue one. AoE ignite, so it's just, yeah, it's so easy. Okay, next one. Kind of the same team again, but Gustav's in the back now. Once again, there's no point even Gustav being there, because obviously you are trying to keep everyone alive and get the 3 stars. This one could be a little bit more annoying. Even though they are all blue, they do actually boost up like a lot of their defense, and also the Guild Thunder in the middle cannot be debuffed, but that doesn't matter because Jericho's ult should be 6-6 at least for everyone, and to where you can just literally just one-bang him with the ultimate. It's kind of just killing the left and right people. Houses don't do too much damage, but yeah, they kind of buff up each other's like defenses with the shields. So pretty much take out the Guillermo first. Just keep doing the ignites to stack up damage and do AoE damage to all of them. And then yeah, if you get the harmless ult, you do lower their defense related stats, so you're going to hit crits anyway with Jericho. But yeah, it's honestly, this one's pretty straightforward as well. Once again, I think with the other stages too, the hard part will probably be, or the hardest part will probably be clearing in 8 turns. It's easy to clear, just maybe clearing 8 turns might be a little bit more difficult, depending on what character levels you are. Okay, almost finished now. We are moving on to the second to last stage, the other heroes. This one's a joke. So you should have upgraded both of these guys during the first ever reverse stage in season 1. So they should be a decent level. For some reason, the Gil Thunder Uverse is like super weak. He does heal himself back up to like 35% HP. That passive that brings him back to life. But still, honestly, like Lord Twigo just. He's just a god and just literally almost one-bangs him in one turn. It's quite insane. And my guy's only max, but if you just get him up, it's super easy. Once again, not too much to say about this one. You can reflect the damage if you do get a little bit weak against Aloni. But still, like you can see, one turn there, we took him down to like 30% HP. He does do his taunt, but honestly, this one's just super easy. Super easy. Okay, so this one is probably the hardest one out of all of it. So the CC limit is 45k, and I just did that with the right associations and attack food. So you may not be able to do it. Just bear in mind, Diane does take less damage from debuff skills, which Kayn only does debuff skills. So don't attack Diane with Kayn. And also Meliodas does less damage from attack skills, which only Tyzo does. So you pretty much want only attacking with Tyzo to Diane and then Kayn towards the Meliodas. Now you want to make sure, you can see it on screen now, the little fire hand skill that Kayn has, which removes debuffs, because Diane does also increase her defense. And then also, Diane does have rupture, so it's not recommended to use a tier 1 of the deflect. If you get to tier 2, I think it may be a little bit better, the muscle man skill. But yeah, pretty much stack up the ignites, save the tier 2 card to where you can actually remove the defense, and then boom, just ult both of them. You're kind of good. Took a few tries, not gonna lie, but if you get Tyzo up to a high level, he should be fine. Definitely recommend to bring attack food, because it is quite a little bit more difficult. This is probably the hardest one for me, at least, because I had no R pendants to level him up, so I had to kind of just literally get good RNG. Okay, now that is done. Moving on to the last stage, which I'm happy about, because obviously you should know from the channel we use Deldry a lot here, and she is one of the characters you have to use. And yeah, she makes it super easy. I can see people maybe struggling a little bit for this one, because I'm sure no one's leveled up Deldry. I do have a 6/6 max, although the ult doesn't help too much. Arden is probably the more of an MVP here. They do obviously all target Deldry, so you can have it to a high level, otherwise she's gonna die. But she can increase her HP related stats with her taunt, but I didn't get it too often. Bring attack food. Arden surprisingly does a lot more damage. It's weird. But the skills to go through, it's nothing too much, kind of standard Meliodas and stuff cards. Barn does recover HP when you ult, so you kind of want to kill him. But yeah, honestly, they're super weak. Deldry can crit with her skill card, but honestly, every card that I used, she just never critted. So yeah, just kill Barn first, then kill Diane, and probably kill Meliodas, or either one. Probably kill Barn first, because he is green, so if you use Eldritch cards onto Barn, you're going to do kind of a lot of damage, at least. If you crit, if you can probably one-hit him with a crit. You can even see in the gameplay, I think Meliodas, for some reason, started hitting Patience on Deldry. It's actually quite mad how much, like, Deldry tanks in this one. But yeah, just pretty straightforward. You can use Arden's Break card because they won't be attacking Arden. They always go towards the Deldry. Even if Meliodas does counter you, you are going to do more damage towards him. And yeah, nothing. It's straightforward. Just make sure you have your Deldry maxed up. I can see it's been a problem for most people because no one leveled up Deldry. But yeah, she's kind of just the MVP. She did almost die for me at minus level 80 with like all her cosmetics, even though she only has one. So just make sure she's max because otherwise she might die. Okay, the last stage we have this team, which once again was the same team used during another mission in Season 1. So they should be leveled up. I didn't have to touch them once. The only annoying thing here is the Gopher, who can obviously attack Sable, and he does AoE attacks, and removes debuffs, and also has the highest crit resistance in the game. So the fact that you are using Death Hits kind of helps because you can actually crit him a little bit. It does every now and again. But yeah, pretty much just literally rush down Gopher first. You want to make sure he doesn't attack Sable you, otherwise you're kind of screwed and you have to reset again. And then yeah, they don't really do too much damage. Kill the Merlin next with an ult probably, and in Diane she does literally like no damage. So even if she ults you, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you obviously clear it in 8 turns. Okay, and there we go. That is literally every single reverse stage complete Season 2. Yeah, definitely an easier season, mainly because if you go through Season 1, this should be pretty straightforward. And the rewards you get are pretty good. You get 2, or I guess what, 3 Part 2 tickets, which once again, you don't give out too often. But yeah, if you want to see the Part or Season 1 of the reverse stage, you can go back and watch the video. It came out pretty late, so you may have missed it if you've already done it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please like button, subscribe. And yeah, probably the most difficult part of this one is maybe clearing it in 8 turns for some stages, but yeah, it was kind of a breeze. Enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Peace.